Hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports 4 coming to you today with my reaction to the AP Top 25. Some shuffling happened, so let's get into it. I'm going to start at the top and then go down and say if I agree or disagree. I agree with the number one spot, Alabama, until they lose. I think they should be number one. This team's just ridiculous. The only two teams that are going to be playing this year that's even worth watching is Georgia and LSU. I still think Georgia's going to get into the SEC championship game. LSU, they get them on the road in a few weeks in early November. That's going to be a game to watch. So those are the only two games besides maybe once they get to the college football playoffs that I'm either going to probably watch of Alabama. I think not Mississippi. I think Mississippi State and Missouri can maybe hang with them a little bit, but that's it. Number two, Georgia. They get they stay on number two. They get the win over Tennessee. I do think they should be number two over Ohio State. Just a thought about that. Georgia's beatable, people. They will lose a game before the SEC championship game, and I'm pretty sure I know who they're going to lose the game to. It's going to be one of the two games. It's either going to be on the road against Kentucky or on the road against LSU. Those are the two games right there that I will circle if I'm a Georgia fan. I will pit one of those two down as a loss. But I still think you're all going to be in the SEC championship game. Number three, Ohio State moves up a spot after going on the road and beating Penn State 27-26. Guys kind of got a little bit lucky, but good win for y'all. Next big game is you guys get Michigan State and Michigan still. Maryland on the road, people are saying that could be an upset for you all. We'll see about that. I'm a Terps fan. I'm not buying it. But next week you get Indiana at home, and you should be able to beat Indiana in that game. So I agree with Ohio State at 3. This is my first disagreement. Clemson should be number 6 in the country, in my opinion. That win against Syracuse was not impressive at all. They should have blown out Syracuse. I will put LSU and Notre Dame easily ahead of Clemson. Syracuse, they did beat Syracuse 27-23. They do go on the road next week against Wake Forest. We have to see if Trevor Lawrence is going to be healthy. Even if he's not healthy, I do think Clemson will overcome that and probably squeak by with a win. But I'm telling you, Clemson should be out of the top 5. I'm not liking this Clemson team right now. They are not on my college football playoffs right now. I still think they are the best team in the ACC, the team to beat in the ACC. But my lord, they should not be in the top 5. I absolutely disagree with that. And my voice sounds a little raspy. I was yelling at the TV a lot. My Tennessee Titans won, which is great, but I was yelling at the TV a lot. Number 5, LSU. I think they should be the number 4 team in the country. I watch a lot of this game just to see if LSU could actually beat Alabama. And I got some news for you. They could hang with them for 4 quarters. I am not sold that they could beat Alabama yet. They do get them at home, which is good. But both teams are coming off byes. Good win against Ole Miss for them in the rain. They get to go on the road against number 22 Florida next weekend. That's gonna be a fun game to watch. That's probably gonna be CBS 3:30 p.m. Type game. I can't wait for that one. Next game, Notre Dame. Not next game. Next team, Notre Dame, number 6. I think they should be number 5. Move them up 3 spots. I think that they got a big win at home against number 7 Stanford. I thought it would be much closer. They get to go on the road next week against Virginia Tech. I think they'll beat Virginia Tech on the road. I do think that. Probably by a lot. Next we get Oklahoma, number 7 Oklahoma. I agree with this. Despite, I think they should have moved down a spot despite blowing out Baylor by 30. I'm not sold on this defense. They get Texas next week in the Red River rivalry, and I have not made up my mind for that game. So Wednesday I'll make up my mind on that. Let's see, number 8 Auburn. Yeah, I have to say I agree with Auburn being number 8. It's close between them and West Virginia. I could go either way with that, but I'm fine with Auburn at number 8. I primarily think that they are over West Virginia because the poll I think favors the SEC. Um, but I mean, I'm telling you, Auburn. I'm not sold on Auburn. They get a tough game on the road against Mississippi State this upcoming week. They have to go on the road. I believe they have to go on the road against Alabama and Texas A&M. I think, or not Texas A&M. They have to go on the road against some. Oh yeah, Georgia. That's the team. They have to go on the road against Alabama and Georgia still. I'm not sold on Auburn being a player in the SEC. I'm really not. They did not impress me at all against Southern Miss. And personally, that's why I'm now, after thinking about it, I think West Virginia and Auburn should be flipped. I will have West Virginia at 8 and Auburn at 9. West Virginia went on the road and beat number 25 Texas Tech, even though I think that they should have not been ranked, but really, they should have been ranked last week because there's really not many good teams. Texas Tech, they beat Texas Tech 42-34 and had a 35-7 lead on them. I'm telling you, West Virginia is a very good football team. I cannot wait till this team starts playing teams like Texas and Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State and TCU. West Virginia does get Kansas at home next week. That should be an easy win. But number 10 Washington, they beat number 20 BYU at home 35-7, moving up a spot. I am fine with this. They get UCLA next week on the road. Should win this one. If they should win that pretty easily. Next, number 11 Penn State. They moved down 2 spots, losing to number 4 Ohio State, 27-26 by 1 point. I'm fine with them only moving down 2 spots because they lost that game because of coaching more than anything. Due to one play call. I don't know what the hell they were doing keeping the ball out of Trace McSorley's hands and on that 4th and 5 late in the game. But I'm fine with them moving down 2 spots. They get their bye next week and then they'll start playing real. They still get Michigan and Michigan State, and they get Wisconsin as well. So they could lose another game, but kind of highly unlikely. I do think they will though. I do think that. Next, number 12, UCF. They beat the crap out of Pittsburgh 45-14. Good win for this team. It's interesting to see what they do this year because if they go undefeated, to me, they're a top 10 team. They do get Memphis and South Florida, so they do get those 2 teams. They get SMU at home next week. That should be a win. Kentucky moves up 4 spots, and I agree with this. They beat South Carolina 24-10. Big win for them. I knew they were going to win that game. Good win. They get to go on the road next week against Texas A&M. I'm not sure if they could beat Texas A&M on the road. I don't know if they will. I haven't made my mind up about that one yet. Next, number 14, Stanford. They moved down 7 spots. I am okay with them moving down 7 spots. They got smacked around against number 8 Notre Dame on the road. I'm fine with them moving down 7 spots. They get Utah this upcoming week at home. They should beat Utah at home. I'm not sold on any team in the Pac-12 South. I'm doing a video tomorrow on why who I have favored right now in the Pac-12 South and why. Because I'm telling you, the Pac-12 South is as wide open as it gets. Let's see, Michigan number 15. They moved down spot after squeaking by Northwestern. I am fine with this. They get Maryland next week at home. My Terps. I think my Terps will lose this game. But I do think I think we'll be in it for a half. My Terps. I do think that as of right now. I haven't came up with a score yet, but I think we'll be in it for at least a half. And I think Michigan should get the win next week. Wisconsin moves down 1 spot. I would rather see Miami and Wisconsin flipped at this point, only because I think Miami, since they played last week and blew out a team, Wisconsin with a bye. That's a disagreement there. But they get Nebraska at home next week. Wisconsin, they should win that game. They don't win that game. Wisconsin sucks. I'm telling you that right now. They suck. Miami at 17, I just said they should be number 16. I will flip Miami and Wisconsin. They got a big win against North Carolina. Big blowout win. If you want to see a recap on that, I actually have a separate video for that on the YouTube channel. Go check that out. They get Florida State at home next week. They should win that game. I don't know if they'll blow them out per se, but they should win. Oregon moves up a spot after getting a win against number 24 Cal. 42-24. Very impressive win for Oregon. They have a bye next week. I'm fine with them being ranked number 18. But we'll see what they do after their bye. They have to still get, I believe they still get Washington, Washington State. So we'll see what they do. Number 19, Texas gets to move down one spot despite getting a road win against Kansas State 19-14. I do think they should have moved down the spot only because I think that win against Kansas State, they should have blown them out by more. They get to play at a neutral site next week. Red River rivalry against number 7 Oklahoma. I have not made a decision yet on that game. I have not. So we'll see what happens. I can't wait for that game, but we'll see what happens. And once again, if I haven't mentioned before, my voice is raspy because I was yelling at my TV at my Tennessee Titans. Good thing that we won, so it was worth it. Next, number 20, Michigan State. They moved up one spot. I'm fine with them moving up one spot since 21 through 25 are all new teams. They get the win against Central Michigan, 31-20. Good win for them. They get Northwestern at home next week. Let's see what they do against Northwestern. And now 21 through 25 are all new teams. Colorado, first time this year they are in the top 25. They're 4-0. They got a big win against UCLA, 38-16. They are number 1 in the Pac-12 South. Can last. We'll wait and see. They get a big game against Arizona State next week. That's a big game for them. I cannot wait for that one. I have not made up my mind for that game yet. I think Arizona State's a very good football team, and I think this game's going to tell me a lot about both teams. So we'll see what happens, but I'm happy that Colorado's ranked. I do think they deserve to be ranked. Maybe not as high as 21, since they had their most impressive win is against Colorado State, I think. Yeah, the most impressive wins actually against Colorado State. So we'll see. But I do agree that they should be ranked. I don't know if they should be ranked 21 though. Number 22, Florida. They were ranked before at 25, but they lost to Kentucky. But they're back in the rankings on number 22 after pulling off a impressive road win against number 23, Mississippi State. Very big win for Dan Mullen in this program. They get number 5 LSU at home this week. Big game for the SEC. If Florida wins this game, watch out Georgia, because Florida, they win this game, they're just gonna pick up a lot of momentum. So watch out Georgia if they win this game. Are they gonna win this game? I don't know. Haven't made up my mind yet. Let's see, number 23, NC State. First time in the rankings this year. They're 4-0. They beat Virginia 35-21. Good win for them. They get to go at home against Boston College. That's a 50-50 game right there. I haven't made up my mind yet. Boston College has been ranked earlier this year, and number 23. NC State. I wish they played West Virginia, because if they beat West Virginia, I will be more okay with them being ranked. I'm not completely. Personally, I think Boise State should be in there. Boise State. I would say Syracuse and maybe even Cincinnati should be in there. But NC State, I'm fine with them being in there. But I wanted them to play West Virginia. Their most impressive win is Marshall, maybe. So I don't know. But good for NC State being ranked. Number 24, I disagree with number 24. Virginia Tech should not be ranked at all. They're 3-1 right now. They did go on the road and beat number 22 Duke 31-14. I understand that. But you should not be ranked for at least another 2 weeks for Virginia Tech. You should not be ranked for another 2 weeks, Virginia Tech. And the reason why is you lost to Old Dominion. What the hell are you doing losing to Old Dominion? You get number 6 Notre Dame at home next week. In the preseason, I thought you guys would win this game. I'm leaning towards Notre Dame in this one, and I think Notre Dame could blow you out. So, I don't expect Virginia Tech to be in the rankings for this week, and I expect them to be out. But my God, Virginia Tech should not be ranked. ranked. Their most impressive win is against Florida State, a Florida State team that, to be honest, sucks. So, my God, Virginia Tech should not be ranked at all. And then up at 25, Oklahoma State. Oh yeah, by the way, I would ever see Boise State, Syracuse, and Cincinnati, and even South Florida ranked above Virginia Tech. By the way, Oklahoma State number 25. I mean, they did beat Boise State head to head, so I suppose you gotta pick them in there at 25 over Boise State when it comes down to it. They got a weird win against Kansas, 48-28. They get Iowa State at home. That is not going to be an easy game for Oklahoma State. Iowa State is a very good 1-3 football team. So, we'll see what happens in that game. Teams that dropped out, number 20 BYU, deserving to drop out. Number 22 Duke deserves to drop out. Number 23 Mississippi State. I think that if they could get right back into the rankings, if they beat Auburn at home next week. Number 24 Cal, I think, deserves to be dropped out, and 25 Texas Tech deserves to be dropped out. Other teams that we see votes, Boise State needs to be in there above Virginia Tech, in my opinion. I would much rather see Boise State in there than Virginia Tech. If you want to put Oklahoma State at 24 and Boise State at 25 because Oklahoma State beat them head to head, that's fine. But my God, Boise State, South Florida, they were close to getting that final spot. Boise State was only 2 points behind Oklahoma State and 3 points behind Virginia Tech. So it came down really close. And South Florida was 5 points behind Oklahoma State. So very close. Syracuse, pretty impressive. If there's any such thing as a good loss, Syracuse had that. Syracuse is going to get in a bowl game, by the way. I do believe that. They could be ranked at some point this year. We'll see. Cincinnati, the big surprise in the American 5-0. They could be ranked. If they continue winning, they will be ranked. I'll say that. Iowa, I mean, I'm not a big believer in Iowa. Texas A&M, I'm not a big believer in. They could be ranked at some point again this year, though, Texas A&M. Washington State is a sneaky good team. I'm telling people, wait now. Washington State's a team to watch out for. If they start pulling off upsets, watch out. TCU, I think TCU's out of the Big 12 race. Doesn't mean they're out. They could not be ranked still this year at some point. But I think they're out of the Big 12 race. Cal, disappointing loss. I think you're out of the Pac-12 race. I always thought that, but could be ranked at some point this year. Maryland will have to pull off a few upsets. My Terps, they'll have to pull off a few upsets if they want to be ranked. Missouri, I don't think it's a player in the SEC. Boston College, I still think Boston College is one of the best teams in the ACC behind Clemson. Mississippi State, if they win that game at home against Auburn, I'm telling you this right now, they will be ranked next week. And they're not. That's bullshit. If they're not. BYU, I was never really a big believer in BYU. Appalachian State, they look like the best team in the Sun Belt. Let's see what they do. Arizona State, if they beat Colorado, you gotta look at them to possibly be ranked. San Diego State, you still have to consider them. Hawaii and Duke, as well. Those three teams all received 1 point. You still have to consider those teams. Hawaii looks like a player in the Mountain West, by the way, despite squeaking by San Jose State in 5 overtimes. But anyways, that's my reaction to the top 25. Sorry for not like a more ranting reaction, but I'm trying to save my voice. My voice is very raspy right now, yelling at the TV, but it's okay. Thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. And this is McD the Beast signing off.